Hello, everyone. This is January 31st. And today we have art contest. Then we have feedback, but about the feedback, I will give feedback only on other stuff not related to art contest, because then we will be here till morning. I have quite a lot of participants, and everybody sent in wonderful work, and this was all about pushing you. This is like a practice, and I wasn't looking at who did better, who did best. No, this was about you, how you in such a short period of time created, so how many altogether? 5 or 6? 5. 2 pine coins, Vizalis mug, and what else? Orchid
Avocado.
and about
Avocado.
6. So yeah, 6 work in such a short period of time, and somebody even did other paintings. So incredible results, and I'm really happy. So I will choose randomly 3 winners. One set, the biggest set will be sketchbook, watercolors, brushes, tote bag, art cup, ceramic palette, and an original.
Wow.
And I have a question, because soon I will receive pink sketchbooks, which now are out of stock, but will be back. And I also will have green sketchbooks. So for the art contest, who will be the winner, I will ask. Does she wants a pink or a green? So you can choose. Second prize is sketchbook, also a big sketchbook, watercolors, brushes, and an original. And third is watercolors, ceramic palette, and an original from me. Worldwide delivery is on me. This is a thank you for all your support all this time and your hard work. I'm really happy for you all and really excited. So we will start from the smallest set or from the biggest set?
The smallest, then go big.
Okay. Oh, sorry. Somebody fell out. No, we're getting back. So I'm not looking. And I have first lucky winner, Tammy.
Oh, yay! Awesome! Yay, I'm so excited.
So Tammy, you will get watercolors, ceramic palette, and an original. You can choose which color for watercolors. I have gold, red, green, or pink.
I'll have the gold.
Okay, gold.
Oh, I'm so excited. Thank you.
Happy for you. So number 2. I'm not looking. Okay. Okay, okie dokie. Tina Ignatovich. I'm showing you, so everything is clear, and we don't have here, but she's also my student and working really hard. Okay. Oh, and the last one, who will receive the biggest set? Fingers crossed. Sherry Price.
Oh,
I think she's yeah, Sherry Price, she's on mute.
Yay! I'm having trouble with my video.
Oh.
So that's why you're not seeing my art room in my face today, but I'll get it fixed before next time. I can't believe I won. I never win.
Oh, that's amazing. You see,
Very
you
good.
won, and you won the biggest set. So would you like pink or green?
Can I see? I can't see you at the moment. Let me see if I can.
I will send you a picture.
Okay, perfect. Thank you, Christine, and thank you for doing this.
Thank you for working. Thanks, and thank you
Oh my gosh,
for your support. I think you
this
all
one
deserve
about did me in.
Oh.
This one about did me in. I don't know if the other participants are feeling this way, but when I started in December doing them, I thought I didn't have a printer. I was struggling then to draw everything to be exact like yours. And anyway, I'm glad that you pushed me though, because I feel like I'm in a much better headspace now.
Amazing. Great, great, great. And you don't have to be like me. It's okay to have your own twist, your own some styles, touch of styles. This is I'm showing you the way, I'm showing you my approach, but that is completely normal to have your own touches.
Yeah.
Okay, amazing. So done with this. And we can now start a feedback session. About the feedback session, I don't know if anybody noticed or haven't noticed, but in January, when I was writing this plan for the January, I asked the question which nobody answered. I think maybe nobody even noticed that I suggested to make one feedback session that I really critique my own work. Would that would be interesting for you to see how I would go and critique my own finished results of the tutorials that we have here, because I also make mistakes and that is normal. And I think it would be kind of fun to show you that after time I look at my work and show you where I maybe gone wrong or could have done something better. So let me know if that is something you would be maybe interested for the next month, or I don't know, March. Doesn't matter the time, but let me know. And now we can start. I will share screen. And we have Anthurium. I have quite some of them. Okay, so here is an Anthurium, and let's see, stem could be a little bit rounder with this darker side, which is in the reference visible. The right side is much darker, and I would add a little bit more darkness to the stem to make it rounder. Now it kind of looks a little bit flat because all except here, but like here, all tonal values are the same. This part is visibly lighter here and darker there, but it can go a little bit darker. Also with this stamen or antern, how it is called correctly, this part can go way darker to make it look rounder, but carefully around these little spots. They can stay as they are light. Let's zoom in closer. So this part can go darker. Look here at the base. On this side, it's darker. Okay. Maybe this part could be a little bit lighter, but still good. Still good. And did you use white paint? A little bit here, right?
Nope, no white.
No. Okay, it looked like, but that's okay. It's really good how you left light. I know it's really struggling for you to keep light as it is,
Yes.
but
And
here you did.
that for me was a triumph.
Triumph, yeah.
Yes.
Because I know your journey with the light area, and
Oh my God. And red.
clearly, it is clearly white as it should be.
And red.
And red. And red, yes, red, beautiful. Maybe this one can go a little bit darker, because this is like one of the darkest areas, but you left this the darkest, and now it's kind of strange that here these white veins appear white, because it's clearly completely covered from the light, and light is hitting this surface, it can't hit underneath. Yes, so these white lines shouldn't be here. Here is slightly visible, some light, but not
yeah.
so bright. Okay, let's do another one. Here I have another one, and yeah, these dark lines really got my attention, but here we also have a dark edge, but maybe not so crisp and intense and not so even everywhere. When I was doing the tutorial, I also mentioned that there are some areas that this darkness is visible, but then it disappears. Here it's not visible at all. Also here it is not, a little bit here, not here, a little bit here. And when going like this around, it's like more like an outlining. It's a way too dark and way too not so natural looking. Because why here it is visible and then it's not visible? It's a curved flower surface. Here it is more curved that the edge is visible, and then it goes and curves back, so we don't see that dark edge anymore. That's the nature, that it goes and it flows. It's not flat, it's not laying flat. So this dark outline really is a little bit messing with all this composition and result, because I like how these blue look here. Very interesting, very shiny. Everything is good, and a little bit too much on this part, and also stem went a little bit too dark. Maybe it looks like indigo or or Perlin violet, very intense, a little bit too intense, could be lighter, and it would look calmer. Now those dark areas, they are like screaming, but still good result. Especially the slide area is very interesting, and I would even say like something stylish, beautiful. Then we have another one. I wanted to show this particular. I'm not sure that I have another one, but this is like a really common mistake. When we have this part, it is attached to the stem. So when you are freehand drawing, you are not just following lines that you see in the reference, but you also need to think the stem, the flower head is attached to the stem. So all the center parts that are coming from the flower are also coming where the stem is attached. So here we can clearly see that the stem is separated from the flower head. In the reference, we can clearly see that this is like one line, stem, and this antern or stamen is in the middle, but here they just got attached. And this is quite common mistake also with like little stamens. They start to go all the way around, and they also are all going to the stem. Stem is like the middle part, the center where everything is attached from flower head. Okay, then we have a really complex painting, and Maria did amazing work. I already told her in our Facebook group in the beginning that a little bit of light was lost in the first layers, and then everything, I also state that quite often, be careful in the beginning with dark watercolors, because if you go dark, then it's not only that you are losing light, but you are like everything else all the time that you will be painting, you will be trying to adjust everything to that darkness, what was made in the first layers. You are all the time thinking and struggling. I need to go darker because I need to adjust to that first dark spot that I have there painted, and then it's more like a constant struggle to get the in the same tonal value. So better to go light and then adjust everything towards more saturation and contrast rather than have one darker spot and then everything should be adjusted to that dark spot. So, but still, you pulled everything, looks very good. It's quite complex. The darkness and saturation of these artichokes are super dark, and it's quite a lot of layers required to get to this darkness. I would go a little bit more darker. And it's interesting. The more you're gonna go darker, the lighter the rest of the artichokes going to appear. For
Yes.
example, like this area, like all this, I would go a little bit way darker to separate these two. And for example, this part compared to this part, it still can go darker.
Yeah.
It still can go darker. Also, this and this also can go darker, leaving this area untouched. No touchy. Only this part can go, because right now it's almost in the same tonal value, but you can go way darker this part. But careful, for example, don't lose light here. You have it beautiful here. You can go a little bit darker here, 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 here. And I would also add here, because let's look at this one here and this one here. It can go darker. And then these lower parts, look at them here. This one is darker. So these few areas you can build a little bit darker, and you will notice how everything else becomes lighter. It's a play of contrasts.
Mm.
Also, these half of these leaves can go
Darker.
can go darker. Yes, this part, like, yeah, this part. But carefully, really don't touch the lightest parts. Only build, I would use like indigo with perlin violet. These are very colors from these artichokes. Intense.
Those were the colors that I was using.
Yeah, they are really intense and really dark, for especially dark subjects, and they help to build this darkness. And at the end, especially with these dark areas, you don't need to worry by going too dark, because you need to go there dark. Just don't touch. This one here is really nice. This here looks like, I don't know, it looks like it's real. So really wonderful work, wonderful, and it's complex. It's not easy.
Thank you.
Then we have from you another project.
Yeah, beginning.
Beginning. You said that you will add darkness here. Yes, it's required, definitely. Also here, here, build.
Yeah, I started, what happens is I zoom on each grape to see each speck or whatever, and that's how I paint, and that's how I did each petal of the artichoke.
Yeah.
And when I finish the whole grape, how do you call it, the whole thing,
yeah.
the whole thing, that's when I noticed that in the middle it was darker.
Yeah, but that's the point. You can always go darker. That's not a problem.
Yes, and that's when I noticed that in the middle it needed to go darker, and I told you in my email at the end when I when I do the leaf, haha, joke, when I do the leaf, joke on me that I decided to do that. I will darken the middle of the grape.
Yeah, and don't touch the lightest ones because they are at the edge that you can't go any further.
No, the bottom, I was comparing the photo with mine with my husband last night, and we decided not to touch the bottom ones because they are exactly. I think.
When you will add darkness, it will be more clearly visible with tonal values because this dark spot is catching our attention, and compared to this one, they look very, very bright, very light. So don't rush, paint slowly further leaf, and then you will see when you will be adding darkness, don't look at each grape, but look at the whole area. And then, for example, you add darkness like here, and then you compare, for example, this painted area, for example, with this one, and then you see that this is even darker, but look at the whole composition. Don't look anymore as an individual. You need to add darkness. For example, these are shining very light, and they are like jumping out of that composition, but they should be really dark and go way deeper.
Yes, but as you know, and I am trying to paint realistic, I zoom really big on each one, so each grape is really identical to each one. And when I zoom out, that's when I realized that I needed darkness, and I won't do it until the end.
Yeah, don't rush with that. What is here?
That's the leaf, and I have to erase that, and I thought that was a grape, and then I realized
I would not recommend to erase. I would recommend to make here 2 grapes darker.
Okay, I would put 2 leaves.
Like for example, one is small like this, other one a little bit bigger, overlapping, and then make them dark, that they are going way back into the background.
Because it looks weird.
It looks a little bit weird, and you can't get leaf anymore. And if you will start erase, it will be visible because it's quite dark area. It's not like you are erasing maybe, I don't know, a little bit of this part. This will be visible no matter what you use for erasing. So I would better change to 2 grapes. One can't be so big, but 2 can be, and way darker in the background.
Okay.
Yeah. Also, this one here looks a little bit blurry, so make it a little bit maybe. Okay, what is happening here? It's a little bit blurry. So here, like 1, 2, 3 grapes.
Probably.
Yeah. This one goes dark. Yeah, you will manage with making them darker. And the leaf, don't rush it. Slowly start with the red, and then a little bit darker, this nice darkness here. It also will give a beautiful dimension. And also stem, do those dots, do those lines. If you went beyond with those dots and spots here, do also the same with spot. Do these little dots, lines, these little things. Everything is important if you want to really go realistic.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Now I go back to work.
Now we have, and Amaryllis from, I don't know, 2022, I guess. Middle part can go a little bit darker. Don't go too intense, but definitely needs darkness. This area, because it is curved, and this one goes inside the middle part of the flower. Also, this can go a little bit darker. This part can go a little bit contrast would be nice. A little bit of contrast would be nice. So let's zoom this out. And when we are zooming, we can clearly see that this part needs to go darker because there's a lot of these folds, and when the amaryllis is closed, that's a huge flower, and there's lots of little folds and curves. And now this part looks kind of flat and not so full, but amaryllis flower is a huge flower head with how many? 3, sometimes 4 flower heads, and it needs that these lots of folds. This creates also illusion of depth and also a richness of that plant. So we understand that there's lots of things going on, and it like feels like it's gonna explode, which almost it does. So darkness would be nice here. Everything else, I would not push too dark, because everything you looks like you made a little more lighter and not so intense, but don't maybe push everything so intense and dark like it is here. But this middle part, it requires. This one is done nice. Stem is done wonderful. Details really, really good. My only concern is this part can go, like, you compare, look at the reference, compare these areas. A little more contrast would give more richness. Okay. Then we have 2 flowers. One request, Claire, when you will be making photos, don't place paper right against window where the light is coming from. Better to turn around and turn yourself around, that here's window and light is falling on the paper and you are taking picture. Now you are like taking picture against the light, and it all looks darker than it is in real life. I just see that you placed it against light and took a picture, and yeah, what happens, it happens. So this is first attempt, and center part a little bit lost, and use some white paint, which you said that everything looks heavier. That's what the white paint is doing, and that's why botanical artists aren't using, like in super rare occasions, like maybe some dots or some, I don't know, little lanterns can go with the white paint, because it doesn't look natural. Paper looks natural, but white gouache, it's opaque and it's blocking light, and it's yeah, making everything looks a little bit heavier. Then the center part, I will make it smaller. So the center part should be smaller, and the darkness is like in the middle, like this one has, like this one has a little bit of that darker area, and then it goes orangey. Then it goes like dark. I was using Perlin Violet with Perlin Maroon, and then it's orangey, then it's Indian yellow, and then it becomes peach, and then it becomes pink. So this is the transition of colors in the middle part. Like we are building from darker and going to the lighter, which is pink. Then I don't know, maybe it's the light, the darkness of the photo, but I would like to see the pink more vibrant, which means I was using, as I recall, clean pink pigment for the petals, not mixing any like maroon, perlin maroon, or definitely not perlin violet, to make those petals really bright and pink. For now, as I see this photo, but again, maybe it's because it's not so light and it's slightly darker, but would be nice that it's more vividly pinker. I don't know that if there's such a word, but okay, I hope you understand. And yeah, it looks easy flower, but it has some some issues, especially because on one petal we have pink, peach, yellow, orange, and dark purple color. So these transitions, and I was using clean pigments to make these transitions more vivid and transparently building layers of watercolors. Yeah, don't rush with dark pigments. Don't try to do faster because of using darker pigments. It only can mess everything up. Yeah, but this is a nice start. This is a nice start. Continue gradually and nicely. Don't rush. Don't rush. This one here, beautifully also done, this pink area, but a little bit lost the too much of this darkness. And then, yeah, too dark these areas. It's a matter of slowly going forward. Then we have this composition, which Barbara, she took and put together. As you can see, here's the one, and the same, only turn around and add it behind. She wanted to make a bigger composition. And my suggestion was only everything looks good. This part can go darker because petals are going inside with all those white edges. Where is the reference? And it become darker, and I was putting even yellow color here because these edges, this is like behind of the flower, and they are white, but white is reflecting everything that is around. That's why here's a little bit of yellow, a little bit of pink. These edges are reflecting all colors that are on the petals. And these edges also needs to go a little bit darker to create this illusion that it goes inside and the shadow is slightly falling. And then would be very nice to add shadow here to separate these two flowers, big flower heads, and to make this one a little bit like behind to get these yeah, needs to go here darker, also here, then gradually here. Separate these again, not with line, but with shadow, more shadow. And the same with the center. Here, these white edges of petals, they need to go a little. I can see that you tried to add here yellow, but you didn't add here, but you need to add more. Let's look again at the reference. They are almost disappearing in that darkness. They are not so vivid. These edges, they are disappearing in the center part. And more attention to these flowers. I know that they look a little bit away and not so important. Like I can see that all attention this flower had got the most of attention, then a little bit lesser amount went here, and then these fellows didn't get so much attention. So we are painting and doing everything, no matter how small, how big, how important it is. In realistic painting, we are looking at each section. Yes, we at these flowers I wasn't so detailed because they are behind. We need to create this illusion they are a little bit blurrier, but still need to add some details. If we look closer, it would be nice to work more, a little bit more on these edges, and they are not so white. They also have some darkness, and yeah, these main features like center, and shadow. Okay. Then I think no more of this, but I will let it down. Then I have, oh, another one. Another one. And this went too dark. And I can see that I think that Perlin Violet was used too much and too intense. Maybe I'm wrong, but what I see, and you need to, if this is Perlin Violet, you need to be extra careful with that. That is super dark and intense watercolor pigments, better to move and build those layers. And if you are like painting and want to add Perlin Violet, start super transparently, add a little bit and see how it reacts, how it looks with all composition. For now it looks too dark here, and this one here, and also on the petals. But again, amazing that you are doing, that you are working. We are learning here. We are not competing. We are not, I'm not a judge at some art contest and are you in or are you out? I'm just giving you suggestions what to look at, what to pay attention, and push yourself to learn, to practice, and listen to these recommendations to make some difference in your next work. Also, the same with these white edges. They are becoming darker because they're going inside the flower and there's the shadow area. Then I have this rose. Beautifully done, looks so realistic. Even if it looks like very simple flower, but beautifully done. I would add a little bit of shadow here. Rose has bottom part of flower bud, and it is in the, and at the lower part is in the shadow. So it goes and bends inside, and that's why the shadow area is created here. It will give more roundness to this beautiful rose painting. It will give more roundness, and also this flower is rounder at the bottom, and it's casting shadow on these sepals. And here I would add a little bit more shadow. This one here is good. This one is good. Great. Yeah. Here shadow, like look, here it is. And also here. Definitely here. Everything else, very good. It's beautiful. The texture of the surface of the rose is amazing. And these veins, really realistic. Beautiful. And yellow subject is very difficult. Okay, then I have, and the question was about color. I can't move it. Wait a second. No. Okay, I don't know. This is definitely pink and red. Oh no, I can move it. Pink and a lot of red and also a lot of yellow. To make this really vividly rich looking parts, especially where the light is shining through these leaves, there's a lot of pink and red and the yellow. I would even do here mix pink with red paint, almost finished, and at the finishing touch I would go with really transparent glaze of yellow, but not everywhere. For example, here, 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 and here. Everything else here, I don't see any yellow because it's completely exposed to light and it's cool. If we compare light area to the shadow, we will see that this is cool and this is warm. And where is warm? A very nice glaze of yellow would give this touch of warmth. And definitely more layers, definitely more layers. Don't be afraid to add transparent layers. It's just a matter of time and patiently adding layers. Don't rush and call it done and say, oh, it doesn't quite look as the reference, because you are like in the beginning part. It's not even middle part. You are just beginning. I would add more layers, more layers. More work is required for these leaves. Okay. Then we have clematis from last month. And this student is doing really good. I know her journey and she's evolving, and I can see how she's getting really to more realistic side, to more detailed, greater precision. And I want to really say that you are doing great. Maybe be more accurate when you are drawing outline. Even when you are doing freehand drawing, be careful with stems. Like this one lost a little bit of control here and it looks like it's broken. And a little bit of shadow to this part. And careful with darker Perylene Violet watercolors. I also can see, or maybe there was Perylene Violet with indigo. So be careful when you are adding darkness, but other way, you are doing great. I can see your progress and you are getting more precise, more detailed, and that's amazing. I hope you also see that improvement. Then we have already spring subject, tulip. And beautifully done, very vivid, rich looking tulip. I love parrot tulips. So a little bit of this edge, this shadow part, and I looked into my, I don't see it here. And I also had quite dark this part. So if I will critique my work, I will also make a critique to this edge. So it went a little bit too dark and too blue. Here it has a more subtle violet gray watercolor mix to be more calmer, especially here. And then it goes darker here. But now it is, and it's not like messing around too much. It's just really vividly visible. But again, these parts around are compensating. Okay, it's not such a big deal. What else? Maybe this could be a little bit lighter if we compare. If I squint my eyes and I'm looking for the darker areas, and they appear to be this, and this, especially lower parts. So these, the back sides of the petals, which are not exposed to light, are the darkest ones. Of course, I'm not talking about these entrants, I'm talking about petals. And here's a look at the finished result. This went these 1, 2, 3 went a little bit too dark. They could be a little bit calmer to give this contrast to the outer, these lower parts of petals. Again, it's a game of comparing, looking one petal to another, front side to the back side, which is darker, which is lighter. Also this part, if we take a closer look, and one here. And if I squint my eyes, I see that this part is darker. Of course, this white edge is jumping out, but this one here is darker. And all this area, if I compare this pink to this pink, then this one is darker. And that's how I am doing. I'm building those transparent layers. And as I reach the point that everything looks quite okay already, and we have lights in places, and then is the time when we need to build that contrast. And then I start to compare. Even on one petal, we can compare this little to this little, and I will see. And I also think that the light source is coming from here, which means that this one is in the shadow and it needs to go darker. The same here. Let's compare this pink to this pink, and this one is darker. And in your case, it is darker, but they are very similar. They're very close. But the result is amazing. Still, I'm like giving these things to look at. So you every time start to also start to be like on your own, asking those questions, looking at the reference, comparing, and implementing what you see to your work. The result is amazing. But just little things to look at next time. And I really like those, these wavy petal edges. Beautiful, beautifully done. And this part isn't visible that it was painted because of the contrast, as I said in the beginning, that you can leave it. It was so transparent, and that you overpainted that little part. It's not now visible because, yeah, the contrast is great and it doesn't look that it was painted over. Okay. And oh, I want to say to Maria, a big round of applause for such an inspirational color chart. And I really like to see how you are sharing your other work, your challenges, your some great ideas. This is amazing. And when I saw it, I was like, oh my God, that's crazy. But that looks so creative and so beautiful. Bravo, bravo. That is really, really hard work and beautiful. Okay, you can turn on mics. Questions? Okay, Deanna.
I sent in my clematis. Did you not get that one? I sent the clematis in for this month.
I will have a look. When did you send it?
Early part of the month, maybe.
Early part of the month.
I
Let me
can look at the date that I did it and tell you.
in the beginning.
Yeah, it was around, I finished it on the 13th of January, so maybe it was around the middle of the month. I mean, it's no big deal,
Yeah, see it, and let's. Here it is. Nope. Oh, wait a second. I will locate the reference. Oh, here it is, the reference. And share screen. So, okay, so this part can go darker.
Oh.
because if I squint my eyes and look at the reference, I clearly see that this part is darker. I'm not talking about these very light lines because they are edges that are out of the flower head and the light source is touching, but these gaps, they are much darker, and this is super light compared to this one. So I would build a little bit layers here. Also, look at this part.
Yeah, I messed that one up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This petal
Good.
is overlapping this one and casting shadow here. So this part can go
Yeah.
darker and it will separate beautifully those petals.
All right.
Everything here, and this one here, this can go darker. Look how dark
Yeah.
it is here where the leaf goes, and then it also goes dark. You can go to separate these two. This
Okay.
can go darker here, like little details. Nice
Mhm.
work with these little hairs. They are clearly visible that those are hairs. And lost a little bit of light with the stem.
Yeah.
And I would paint a little bit here to attach it. It looks, this little gap
Mhm.
you can just go a little bit added here.
Okay.
About the leaves, this can go a little bit darker, and this part can go, this is darker and this is lighter. So also this one can go a little bit, not too much, because if I compare this part to this part, then this is much darker, a little bit darker. So it's not in, look, now you have both sides in the same tonal value, but they are, they see the light is touching differently here or here. These little details, good. Nicely here done, and this is really small work. Just a little bit here, 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 and here, and here.
Great, thank you.
Okay. More questions?
I have another one, if that's okay.
Yeah.
On the plumeria, where the petals are white, is that, do you leave that completely white as paper, or do you put like light layers of a light pink, or because there's so much white on those petals, it's kind of intimidating. Do you leave all of that white as paper?
No, I will now share the screen and show the plumeria. If we study carefully reference, then white is reflecting everything that is around. So if this part is pink, it is reflecting pink here. And I added here manganese violet. It's very, very, very super light pigment, and it's super transparent, and it's so good for white subjects that are also like pink here and there. And shadow area I painted with just clean manganese violet. And again, here you see it becomes yellow and then dark as it goes way darker. Here I added gray, which was yellow, blue, and a touch of main color, I think. Yeah, a touch of this main mix. And very, very transparent. Again, don't rush with gray watercolors or to add shadow to the white area. Do that transparently and lightly, not to overwork, but also not to leave it completely white, because it's not completely white. The background is messing and it looks white, but as we remove background, it's not white anymore. It's the background makes it look let me quickly maybe show you the difference. This is when removing background, it changes instantly how does look the white. Okay, so I will share screen. So now the white area looks white, but as I remove background and background is white, we can instantly see that it's not white anymore. It's
Yeah.
more pink and it's some violets and some grays because the background now is white and it doesn't. But if I add the green back, then it looks white because the background is green. Removing, and it instantly becomes darker than it was before.
Okay, thank you. Mhm.
Okay, more questions?
I have one in that flower, just because I seem to be struggling with the like very fine details of the little wisps lines that you put in them. Like, is there some sort of practice other than just practice, but exercise or something that you can do to make those lines that really fine little hairy looking? I don't know how to explain it exactly.
Yeah, I understand what you are talking about. First, it depends what kind of brush. And second, how you are holding that brush, which part of the brush is touching. So here I have a very fine brush. Let me put it against paper. So this is very fine brush. And I can use it differently. I can completely place it on the paper, then I will have a thick line. But if I will, my brush, I don't know if you see it, it's, I'm almost touching the very, very tip. I'm sometimes saying that it feels like I'm painting with one hair that is left on the top. And I constantly dip my brush in the paint, and then I remove some excess amount so that I'm making the brush point super straight. I remove excess amount of watercolors so there's not a lot of pigment, and then I can do really fine brush strokes. It finishes quite quickly because the brush is small and the amount of watercolors is super small. And then I go dip again, and then I come back, dip again and come back, dip again. So I'm painting with the, like I'm saying, like the last hair that is on this brush. And yeah, and removing the excess amount of watercolors, because even if I will go and, for example, take a lot of watercolors and not remove it in paper towel, then there's too much of watercolors in the brush, and it will be hard to make fine lines because of the fullness of the pigment in the brush. But then I make it more straighter as I remove. I do this like this, and I'm straightening up, and then I have a fine point, and then I can go and add fine lines. But of course, it's also a matter of time, practice, and the hand goes faster. The more you are doing these fine lines, the faster it will go.
Okay. That helps a lot. I find I have a very heavy hand.
Yeah, if you are heavy-handed, then I think your graphite lines are also quite strong. And it also, where you can practice is making, by everything that you do with your art tools, try to use them lighter. Pencil, brushes, it doesn't matter. Pen, if you are writing. Sometimes I was a heavy-handed at the beginning, and now sometimes my brush falls out of my hand. That is other bad thing, but that's how light I'm holding my art tools. And the lighter I'm holding them, the lighter brush strokes, the faster brush strokes go, and lighter graphite lines, they are more smaller, thinner, lighter. Also, my stems are smaller. It's all because I trained that. I knew that I'm heavy-handed. I knew that I couldn't erase the graphite lines, and I was like, oh my God, the painting is finished, and then there's this gap of leftover graphite. And I started to train my hand to be lighter.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, more questions?
Are we going to be able to order the brushes from you soon?
Yes, they are next week coming back to my shop. And yeah, as I said, they're going to be pink and black as they were. Also, sketchbooks, mixing notebook, everything will come soon back to stores.
Elastic eraser?
Uh, it only will be available. Karen, I will send you elastic eraser with brushes if you will buy.
I can't get them here. They just don't have them.
Okay, that will be my present to you.
Okay. Thank you.
If anybody else is struggling with elastic eraser, let me know. I have them.
Is online school going to be next week?
Yes, next I already wrote down the plan. We will have live painting session, and they are back. Yeah, they're back after all festivities and all the traveling. So we will have live painting session. And today I finished part 1, and I want to show you. We will be painting this giant beauty.
Wow.
Gosh.
It's on a big paper, like the Fritillaria, like flower color wheel. That is the bigger format, and we will be painting it 3 months. There are gonna be, I counted like 5 or 6 parts. This is a big project. And we did a lot of easy ones last year. So for online school, I want to do something bigger, complex. This is from one of my students. It's in her garden, and I just love how it look. It's yeah, I only removed some part. We will have 1, 2, 3 flowers and this one green part, but it's still a lot. It's still a lot. But sometimes, time to time, we need to challenge with something complex or maybe something more faster, like we did with art contest. Time to time, these challenges are pushing us out of our comfort zone and showing us what we can really achieve. And so this is quite challenging also for me, but it's challenging because it takes a lot of time. It's not like super challenging technically. It's just because there's a lot of these petals.
Yeah. Wow.
So,
That's beautiful.
yeah, but
It's beautiful.
it's beautiful. Yeah, I just fell in love with this composition, and I thought that then I have it already, I think 1 or 2 years, this reference, and I thought that time will come and I will use it. So now is the time.
Now is the time.
Yeah. It's beautiful. One step
So
at a
it'll
time
be
with
in-
something like that, though.
Oh, Deanne, that's going to be a challenge for you, and I know you're going to take it.
I know. I am. I'm trying to go a little farther this year. I am. Just
Great, great.
I may fail, but I've always learned something. So
You are doing great. You are doing great. The Fritillaria is coming along very slowly, very gradually. You are doing great.
okay. Thank you. Well, you're an amazing teacher. I've learned so much, and I started looking at when I started following you as I think in August of last year, and what I've learned, I'm getting to start to cry. What I've learned in just this time has just been amazing. I've never thought I could come this far. Ever.
Amazing. I'm so happy
So,
for you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah. It's beautiful.
Yeah, it's just, and it's fun, you know, I don't know if you guys are having a blast with it, but I am.
Having fun. Yes.
Absolutely.
It's really
I'm
fun.
more of a sewer and a quilter, so this changed. I broke my wrist last year, so I needed
Ooh.
something that wasn't so hard on my wrist, and I found watercolors. I've only been doing it since this past summer, and I'm having a ball. I
Yeah,
really am.
Thank
good.
you. I'm so happy to see your work, to see your results. It's and it doesn't matter how good, because I don't believe in such thing as good art. It's all about the feeling. It's more about the feeling what we are achieving, and this community is, I'm loving it. I'm also almost crying.
Yeah.
Very relaxing, very calming,
Yes, yes.
you know, to do
Very
it. And
slow.
feminine. Yeah,
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 forces you to slow down, you know, I'm
it
sort of
does.
like a Tasmanian devil most days. It just go, 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 go.
Yeah.
And just makes you
Yep.
just sort of stop and, okay, I'm gonna paint and I'm gonna take my time.
Yeah.
And
Yep.
when I get done, I get done. I don't, okay, I'm gonna do this leaf today. I'm gonna finish up to here today. No, it's like, I'm gonna paint there as long as I
Yeah.
feel like it or I can. And when I get done, I get done. And I'll pick it
Yeah,
up when you.
yeah, it's better that way, not to place some expectations of the result, but just this process that, yes, I'm gonna paint, yes, that takes a lot of time, and this also this new composition, it will be long, but yeah, we are aiming for just this process to be with these watercolors, with these flowers. There's so many beautiful flower varieties, so amazing.
It is
What
pretty.
size is that painting going to be so we can get the paper that we need?
It's so in inches, it's 12 inches wide, and so many, it was like no, wait,
16, probably about 16.
I think it's almost 16 inches. So the first part we will go slower. I have only the first layer for the upper flower, and also I discussed the watercolor mixes and protecting paper, because this is bigger work and it takes time. So better to protect it extra careful, so that with time, with some, I don't know, movements and picking it always up and down, and better to protect it as much as possible. So it's easier with the small work that you know that you're going to finish in 1 or 2 days. Then I'm not too worried about protecting it, because like I finish and I place it away. But with bigger ones, I know that my kids come in, I know that I sometimes forget something and maybe drop, or something fell from my flower. So better to protect it, so avoid some stressful situations.
Just
So it's
move it.
bigger. Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead,
It's
Karen.
bigger
Go ahead,
than
go
a
ahead.
sketchbook.
Yeah.
Yes, it's bigger. It's like we did flower color wheel. We also did big. Then we did
Yeah.
Titularia. It was also big. So
Okay.
it's in the same
Okay.
size. It's in the same size.
Okay. We'll have to get the paper.
Yeah, this I will upload it, I think, tomorrow, part 1. So we will start slowly, and also don't rush with this flower. It will take time, but it's manageable. It's just that there's a lot of details. And Claire, is it from this flower is familiar to your region?
Yes, it is. Yeah, we do get some lovely ones.
How do you call it? How do you call it? Because I only found a scientific name for this flower. Wait a second, wait, and it's called, I don't know how it's commonly called, like, I don't know. I thought that it's a dragon fruit flower, but it's Epicactus masada.
Okay. I'm not sure what we would call it, quite honestly. It's just I'll have to look it up and see.
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
If you will find it, let me know. I don't know how to call this flower in tutorials. I will say cactus.
Yeah, no, I think do we call them epiphyllums? That seems to, yeah, I'll have a look. I'll let you know.
Okay, okay, okay. They are white and white, yellow, and then these pink, reds. So they are quite some varieties.
Mm. There's lots of them. There are some stunning ones, definitely.
Oh, okay, okay.
Hmm.
Okay, ladies, thank you
One
for this
final
session.
question?
Yeah, yeah, of
One
course.
quick question, if I may. When you start the project like that big one that you're working on now, do you recommend, okay, working on something else intermittently with a big project like that? Or should you focus directly on just that one flower that you're working on right now?
I like to have several.
Okay,
It
okay.
keeps me distracted. Especially with this one, we will have a lot of red and pinks. And when you have all the time one again and again that color, it starts to annoy you, and then you
Mhm.
start to rush things. So
Okay,
I am jumping from like I have monthly smaller tutorials for all Patreons.
okay.
And then I have this more complex. Then I have, of course, my Instagram community where I also paint something. I like to have several
Okay.
projects. It keeps more interesting. And then, yeah, maybe one day I feel more about I want to do leaves, or maybe, yeah, I want to do flowers. But I noticed that in the beginning, I need that distractions, because the beginning process is always, no matter how long you paint, it takes a little bit more extra courage to start and
Mhm.
to go over that ugly stage. But as
Yeah.
I reach the finishing touch, then I go all in and I want to just paint no matter how many hours. I just want to finish it. When I see that finish line, especially with bigger projects, then I just go.
Okay. Yeah, that's the fun part, is the finishing off of it. I
Yeah.
really enjoy that part.
But you can add more details, another stroke, another, yeah, that's I also enjoy that
The
part.
glaze. Mhm.
Where
Thank
are you with your landscape? Remember you had spoke about
Yeah,
landscape.
we will have starting. I'm waiting for snow to go away. I'm waiting for spring, and I also have already some beautiful references. But landscapes are more about like feeling and seeing those colors in nature. And yes, we will definitely have them maybe from starting March. I'm not sure February, but I think March we will go, and we will have in June a challenge which will be only dedicated to landscape painting. So it's going to be
Oh, nice.
completely different. As I planned that in June, I'm having this art retreat in France. And after that art retreat, we will take extra days. And as I will be going home, I will be making that challenge. So maybe some France, some Germany. So we will have interesting challenge.
Nice. Nice.
Fun.
Exciting.
Mhm. Yeah, very much so.
Okay, ladies. Thank you.
Thank
This
you,
this
Christine.
session is recorded, and I will upload it later today. I hope so. It will come, and tomorrow or day after tomorrow, I will upload the plan for the February. Thank you, and we are continuing strong in 2024. Looking forward to your results and wishing you the best to this year. Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank
Christine.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.